Now, Super Mario Odyssey is the brand new Mario game, and it blew everyone away with how amazing it is. So today, Commonwealth Realm and I will look at one element of this game, the bosses, and decide which ones are the best. Oh yeah, spoilers. Number 5. The new rabbit bosses are amazing, but there's one thing that beats them all. Their final form, also known as RoboBrood. This is a giant robot piloted by 4 of them, and it attacks by stomping around and shooting bombs from its cannon. Along with the bombs, it will fire a Pokio, which you must capture, and you can then destroy the armor of the RoboBrood's legs, either by pecking it or by knocking bombs back at it. Once the armor on one leg is destroyed, the robot will fall over, allowing you to climb up and attack one of the rabbits. When it comes to the design of the boss, it looks amazing. The ancient Japanese vibe is so cool, and the music during the fight is incredible. It challenges you in interesting ways, and the new climbing ability with the bird is really put to the test. This creates an interesting platforming challenge where you need to use weird skills to climb the robot and take out your enemy. Nintendo does this often in their Mario games. They introduce a new mechanic and let you play around with it in a safe environment. After that, they present some more challenging scenarios where you have to use the ability to get past it. And to finish it off, they give you a final extra difficult challenge, which in this case is the RoboBrood. Overall, a boss with a fun theme, design, mechanics, and tactics. Number 4. This next boss is a bit of a throwback to an older Mario game known as Super Mario 64. And the boss that I'm talking about is Knucklotec. He's based off real-world Olmec heads and has several similarities to Iroh, due to both being ancient stone guardians found underground in deserts, having giant floating hands, and speaking in broken grammar. During the fight, he slams his fists into the ground, and if he hits a sheet of ice, he briefly writhes in pain. You must then capture one of his fists and try to hit him while avoiding the ice crystals that he fires at you. After you hit him the first time, he will slide his fists across the battlefield once, trying to hit you. He will then slam his arms, causing ice crystals to bury partially into the ground. Now this fight has an interesting dynamic. You need to use your enemy's weapon against them, which is a genius twist. You need to trick the boss in stunning himself by smashing into ice, and then you can use his hand against him. Especially the shock and fear in his eyes is amazing. He looks genuinely surprised by your tactic, which gives you a great feeling. And besides that, it's a fast-paced, fun fight, with the boss trying out different attacks to hit you. It's actually quite tricky, and we're certainly big fans of this boss fight. Number 3.
Now this upcoming boss doesn't belong in this game, it really doesn't. However, we're glad it is in the game because it's epic. The Ruined Dragon, also known as the Lord of Lightning, Bowser's new ally. Just look at this thing. It looks like a boss from Dark Souls or something. Even if the boss fight was horrible, it still deserved to be on this list for the setting and design because it's so badass. He's met on the ruins of a tower and attacks you through 2 types of attacks. The first one are lightning bolts from his mouth that hit the ground in front of him, generating various rotating spiked wheels made of electricity that are able to slightly change direction to chase after Mario. The more the Ruined Dragon is hit, the more spiked wheels are generated through his method, especially the last cycle is insane. The second consists in electrifying his head and slamming the ground with it, generating various electrical streams that diffuse in all directions and have to be avoided. Like in the case of the spiked wheels, the more the dragon is hit, the denser the streams get, and thus the greater is the coverage of the surrounding area. A few seconds after the second attack, the head stops being electrified and the dragon is forced to rest, allowing Mario to jump on his head and use Cappy to remove various pins on his head that keep a crown shaped after Bowser's head into place. This fight is great, except for the fact that he only has 2 attacks, and they're not that much, sadly enough. But besides that, he's a blast to fight, and especially his last cycle is difficult since there's so much on screen to dodge. After that, when you want to damage him, it can become very tense since more and more of those pins hold down his crown, and you have a limited amount of time to take them all out and ground pound him. This creates some urgency, and combined with his cool attacks, design and overall setting make him an amazing boss.
Number 2. We have seen this being before, however he was certainly different from this version. More organic. Mechawiggler, a massive insectoid robot. Now despite being based off a Wiggler, it bears little resemblance to them. It will attack Mario by hurling electrical orbs from each of its segments while crawling along the wall. You must capture a nearby Sherm, avoid the balls of electricity, and shoot Mechawiggler's weak points. After that you can go in for a hit, and you will just repeat this process. Later on he will become angry, faster, and will phase through walls and run at you with high speeds. Now the reason why this boss is just amazing is because of the fact that you can use a Sherm. Using this as your means of attack makes it so much fun. When you capture this enemy, your whole vision changes and it starts to feel like a shooter. It's so extremely different from what we're used to, but it's just so much fun. And the boss's fight is completely perfect for this. Everything is fast-paced, action-packed, and actually a bit challenging. Hitting him can be a bit difficult sometimes. We have also never seen a Wiggler like this, but it's certainly a fun and badass looking twist, especially keeping the setting with the rainy, dark New Donk City in mind. This creates an interesting mood, one of dark times and trouble, and you can already feel this when you see the being up in the tower. Bowser certainly got a lot of cool new toys. Number 1.
Now for the final big bad guy, the one to rule them all. A creature so epic and powerful that he will make Mario's spaghetti arms shiver, and his name is Bowser. In battle, he equips boxing gloves on his hat and will throw it at you. To counter it, you must hit it with Cappy to stop it and flip it over, allowing him to put it on and punch with it using Y. Once Bowser sees his main weapon disabled, he will ground pound around the area, sending flaming shockwaves. He may also throw large brick balls, and you must repeatedly punch Bowser to send him flying into the spiky barrier surrounding the area. Later on, he will also create hat duplicates, throw them all together with the real one, and send them flying towards you. Now, Bowser's boss battles were usually a lot of fun, but not extremely complex or difficult. However, that's totally different with this one. He has so many types of attacks that it's quite overwhelming for a Bowser fight, especially the first time. Now the second time you take him on, he becomes twice as difficult and not in an unfair way. He presents some interesting tactics we've never expected from Bowser, and yet again, you can use the weapons of the boss against him. All of a sudden, Bowser has this complexity and layering when it comes to all his different moves. Even his theme and overall relationship with you is one that builds tension and rivalry, which certainly makes you more excited for the actual fight. And after this grand final fight, at the end of your adventure, you have a platforming section where you need to play as Bowser. The ultimate finish to an amazing fight in-game. This is something none of us ever expected.
Thank you so much for watching, and also make sure to check out our top 5 kingdoms in Super Mario Odyssey video with Dr.Wily. Just click the card.
Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to check out the collaboration I did with Commonwealth Realm over at his channel, a link to the videos in the upper right corner, and if you want to watch more of my own videos, well, then just click the annotations on the screen.